Yeah, so earlier I went to Dollar Tree and I got a couple different DC comics. One of them has Superman and his son, John Kent, who they recently undid the Bendis and Tom Taylor changes, and they are going to redo Super Sons at some point, I'm sure, where it's him and Damian, and then another one with Superman and Batman. But it was a tough decision because there was a lot of his solo stuff from the 90s cartoon, and then there was also some Justice League with them both. So lately, these guys have been getting a push because I saw a Bleeding Cool article talking about Princesses of DC with Yara Flor. I guess they're kind of sick of Diana, or they're waiting for the day that she goes public domain and start pushing her replacements instead. Then Natasha Iron Steel, I think that's the OG dude's daughter. Miss Martian, and Princess Maxima. That's next year, and then they're doing the compact books like the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow and the Far Sector, which I've covered before, where it's I guess it's based in the 90s animation and the early 2000s with the Justice League and Teen Titans, which I'm kind of interested in because the potential for the Teen Titans anyway is that they could bring in Donna Troy. Because as much as I hate the newer Teen Titans cartoon, they did manage to bring her in, I think, one of the movies and the regular show. Though, to be fair, the 2003 cartoon does have the Titans East. But either way, between the two, I was going to start with the dinosaur one, which I was hoping would be like the Savage Land in Marvel Comics, which was introduced in the 60s X-Men and made also popular for the time when Marvel had the license to Transformers and they had Grimlock and the Dinobots fight Shockwave. But we open up to father and son bonding over a science project that John assures his dad that he's not creating a flying saucer. He's creating a flying saucer, not a drone, because in the army there was a sergeant that gave a presentation on the drone, and it got so annoying because it reminded me of my uncle said that he would shoot down drones if they ever came across his house. And the sergeant was trying to make the drone seem like it was a scary movie kind of the deal where, you can't help it. The drone's going to kill you, and it just got on my nerves. So I had to go wait in the bathroom until the presentation was over, and then our senior drill sergeant took us back to do fire guard, and people got to sleep. So there you go. Then we bring in Crypto, who's excited by the prospect of, looks like, the pieces he's putting together, and then he's talking about his teacher while Crypto is getting itchy and antsy. And then it comes to life and it goes flying. So Crypto, thinking that it's funny to play fetch unlike an Ewok, tries to keep up with it, manages to grab it for a second, runs away, and then they get teleported to an island with wreckage, like that one episode of Transformers G1 where Starscream discovers the Combaticons, but we have a Titanic-looking ship, but no iceberg. Then, in the vein of Jonah, we have a big fish or a whale that pops up. Superman tries to calm it down and manages to outdo Geppetto by having a heart-to-heart instead of having to make it cough him up with the smoke in the Disney cartoon. Further wreckage, and then they discover a World War II guy who kept fighting. Probably didn't know that the war ended, like the meme. They skip over, and then they're on the hunt for it, and they run into Jurassic Park style dinosaurs. Jurassic Park 3, I should say. But they spend far less time dealing with them than they did in the 20 minutes of the first movie, and more of the time that they spent in 2, 3, and even the more recent ones, which I like 2 and 3, Jurassic Park 2 and 3. I do not like Jurassic World or any of the rest of the sequels. There's just, yeah. And so, eventually they free Crypto from the jaws of the dinosaur, and the science project, I'm pretty positive if I remember correctly, disappears, but they worry more about Crypto, so then they find a dog tag, which reminded me of the time where my mom said that she first got married to my dad and he was going away on the ship, and he gave her a set of dog tags, which makes me wonder about my friend, who also shares the same name as the superhero that Brian Michael Bendis created for DC, as to whether or not she'd like the set I have, that's still at my parents' house in a bag, I think, a Ziploc bag. I don't know, because I mean, beyond, I haven't really gotten too seriously keen on talking to her about anything when it comes to my experience, as limited as it is, other than MREs so far. But I guess I could tell her maybe at some point about my dog tags. Then they find more dinosaur bones, and 50 cal. And so, yeah, a lot of what he's talking about was in the cave. I had to deal with logistics. The most fun I ever had when not getting yelled at by drill sergeants was when I had to pack ammo into the cartridges. It was fun. Then we have a cliffhanger where they have a cave writing on the wall, and it reminds me of a dude on Twitter that was an ex-Marine that reminds me, he does talk a lot about his experience, but not to the degree that Meyer has lately. Yeah. Then hang on. Move on to the other one, which I grabbed because it mentioned Brainiac, and there you go. Alright, so we open up to the damaged Batmobile, some costumes in the container, and then we switch to Steel and Batwoman. I've never been opposed to him, kind of like Calvin Ellis. I do not like her at all. Her CW show is awful, and her replacement wasn't much better. But they find a transmission from Batman, and it's basically like the BVS scene, but instead of it being Batman getting warned by Flash, it's the two of them getting warned by Batman instead. You have a vampire-looking Supergirl, all of the bad guys that Batman usually fights. This is a big epic volcano scene. We have Batman puzzled and annoyed over this one spherical object. And they get ambushed by a giant gray robot. And then you get another dinosaur. It's a T-Rex this time instead of the pterodactyls. And then it's a Spooky Cube. He's going for a swim. We switch back to the transmission, and it turns out that it's from a spooky future, like the nightmare scene that Zack Snyder was keen on. You have the Brainiac robots, which I will admit, I think I like here better than the Ultron ones in the Disney movies. I did not like that movie. They wasted the Age of Ultron. They wasted him, like they did Apocalypse with Fox. This is pretty lame. Anyway, there isn't a whole lot going on except there's a cliffhanger for the big bad future expansion. Bane is a woman, I guess. But either way, that's pretty much it on that one too. Though, to be fair, I do wonder what James Gunn is going to do with the Man of Tomorrow with the David Corenswet sequel, because Supergirl might be in it, and then I think they also said Peacemaker might also be in it, which, if he is, I hope he's not as obnoxious as the TV show, because I tried watching the pilot and it is just ugh. Nathan Fillion's cool, but it's not enough as Guy Gardner. I'm saying he's good as Guy Gardner in the Corenswet first movie, but I'm saying I couldn't make it through the first episode of Peacemaker, but not because of him, but because of just everything else. But yeah, the point is, Brainiac's supposed to be the big bad of Man of Tomorrow, so that's why I'm saying I wonder how Gunn's gonna make all that happen. So as far as these two are concerned, though, that's pretty much it.